What's up, everybody? This is attempt 3 on a subject that I really don't care that much about, but I will address it since people keep telling me that there's really important things going on right now, and I'm talking about goofball pyramids. One thing is, I'm not going to be able to say anything of substance here. I can show you some. And the other thing is, I haven't seen anything of substance. It's just more bread and circus. And, I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt with the list thing. They pulled their circus. And at the time that I was covering that, I was thinking, okay, give them some time. These things are going to take time. But since then, I've pretty well heard everybody change their tune. Like Tom Homan, it started out, well, we're going after all the noobs that they shipped in, 20, 30 million of them, however many it was. Then in the last couple of weeks, that's shifted over to we're going after the violins criminals and all of the G-bangers. And that is a huge change in the scope of your mission here. And then Pam Bondi kind of changed her tune to, okay, we're going after all of these known outlaws. Well, wait a minute. I want the unknown outlaws that locked down the country and forced everybody to take a syrup, and the people behind all of the USAID just mad cash money machine. We've got all of this paperwork saying that they blew hundreds of millions of dollars on these obvious grifts. Well, okay, who did that? And then we haven't heard anything out of Kash Patel until yesterday, which I can understand that, but then he comes out and says, well, we've got a whole new agency dedicated to America, blah, blah. And really, like I've been saying all along, there's a certain line that you get to, and after that, you're playing for keeps. And you got to have some kind of plan to keep you and everyone around you safe. And apparently they don't have those capabilities. That would be very hard to pull off. Now, it is early in the game as far as indictments and things like that goes. I mean, it takes years of building up a case on that kind of thing. But in a matter of weeks, everybody kind of started changing their tune. And, I think that they honestly wanted to do something, but then they just got the talk. Now, as far as the release of this new information and important things happening right now, I was kind of surprised that somebody's name wasn't redacted here, and that was literally the only thing that the agency wanted redacted. But really, it's just 80,000 pages with a few references here and there, and nothing of substance that I've seen. Little Benny's reaction to all of this was typical, I guess. Nothing surprising, for sure. He says, last time I looked at the calendar, it was 2025, and we're talking about something that happened in 1963. But in the next breath, we'll turn around and say, God gave us that land 4,000 years ago. And, I hear people use the term controlled opposition all the time. That's what it looks like. Every single other relative of his, I'll say, regardless of what country they live in, are hardcore libs. He is a Harvard-educated lawyer. I mean, the Ivy League mind rot has been going for a long time. But somehow he is very conservative and represents the ideas of all conservatives in America now. Yeah, right. He is there for one reason and one reason only. They've convinced all of these Christians in America that you have to go along with the will of the tribe, otherwise you're going against God himself. So he'll play that fiddle all day long, but when it comes anything to do with that subject, then he's steering everybody right where he's paid to steer them to. And I will just sum up the removal of John F. in 2 words: Jack Rubenstein. And the fact that the entire press pool of America decided it'd be best to say his name is Jack Ruby simultaneously says a lot. And like I've said many times, it's been that way for a long time. That's why I show old newspaper clippings showing how that they're swaying public opinions all the way back at World War I. So there's all kinds of people out there digging through these 80,000 documents. I'm not going to bother because it's just going to be stuff like this. Cool, there's a mention, and, it kind of backs up what a lot of us think already. But they've got half their Congress in their pocket. The other half ain't going to dare make a move against them. And anybody that goes to church in America is going to side with them. It's just programming. 40 million to the blue, 30 million to the red can buy you a lot of look the other directions. The average contribution is about 80K, with some of the top ones receiving 2.7 million, 2.5 million. Nobody's going to bite the hand that feeds, and the few that aren't on the take aren't strong enough to do anything about it. And that goes for what happened back in the 60s and what is still going on today. I can't believe Piers Morgan actually even covered this topic. But yes, there's a full-on G-side that's been going on for quite a while, and everybody just keeps looking the other way. And even Blumpf has gone from looking the other way to aiding and abetting here. I know some people won't like me saying this. Others are going to say it's about time. But you know what? I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because in his first term, he actually did stop all of the conflicts. Actions speak louder than words. But now it's looking like he's just going to turn the MIC, last two words, industrial complex, from Eastern Europe over to the Eastern Mediterranean. And you know what? I do appreciate the things that he's done here at home, but this foreign policy is abhorrent. And yes, I'm allowed to say that I agree with some things some people do, and then other things I don't. And I'll stick by this. Had the cackler won, we would be in a completely different situation here in America right now. If you don't believe me, go down in the comments and find the people from Ireland and England and France and a bunch of other countries and ask them how things are going right there, because that is where we were being steered for the last 40 years. But to me, it is unconscionable that not only did he just look the other way on everything, but now he's actively playing a part in it. When he said that, hey, we're going to take over, the U.S. is going to take over the Strip. He said that in a press conference, and Benji looked visibly upset by that. And I mean, this is a guy that plays at a level that a poker face is something you train yourself on. But you could tell that's not what he wanted. So I'm still not sure what's going on there. But I can tell that Blumpf honestly buys into this whole October 8th -1 day. And I think that he thinks he's doing the right thing here, which is completely misguided. But hey, he's a New York billionaire. I mean, you know, he's had some dealings with people with different loyalties. So, you know, I really don't think that you can just buy a person like that. And that's what I keep saying about all these people at the top levels. These are megalomaniacs that have been raised up that you are master of all you survey, and they're not just going to roll over for a couple bucks. You can mail them with a little black in there, and you can apply pressure as to their safety and that of their families. But I don't even think that's what's going on here. I think that he is just so drunk on the Kool-Aid that he actually thinks he's fighting the good fight. But I don't know. They may have got to him in some of those ways, because even with NATO, at first he said, we're getting out of NATO. And then a week or two ago, he flip-flopped too. And I heard him say, well, we just wanted NATO to pay their fair share. So does that mean now we're staying in NATO? So anyway, I was trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt here. But in the last couple of weeks, I've seen flip-flops on everything. And it's like I said a couple videos ago, the most likely thing here is we're probably going to get a couple of mid-level nobodies off of that list to appease the mob, which is very much a guided and controlled mob. Everybody in this room has one thing in common. Guess what it is? Support of Blink. So that's my response to people saying there are really important things happening right now. I'm not seeing it. If I see anything of substance, I'll let you know. But I gave them their chance, and this is 2 releases now of absolutely nothing. So I guess I'll go back to history or pyramids or whatever until something happens, which I'm really not going to hold my breath on. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Static out.